The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Game Podcast Network is brought to you by Nick Fantasy. Underdog just launched a new ladders game. We're going to 500 times your money. Remind you can also use the promo code MLB SGPN when you sign up to get a $1,000 bonus credit. We're also brought to you by EdgeBoost. Bank can build for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet. Promo code SGPN to get a $25 deposit match bonus. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Game Podcast Network. It is currently Wednesday evening around 5 p.m. Eastern Time on May 7th. I'm host episode Sky Reichel, joined again by Dylan Rockford together to break down the upcoming games for the Thursday card. Dylan, how's it going with you? I know your Mets are playing right now. A lot of nothing so far. It is 0-0 right now. But how's it going with you? How's your Wednesday going?
Yeah, Wednesday's going well. We hit on two of our plays already. We get the Astros. They dominated the Brewers. And then we get the run line for the St. Louis Cardinals. It's continuing to fade the Pittsburgh Pirates. But so far, so good on the day. Got a couple more bets going off. And big game two tonight.
Definitely true. I saw that Sonny Gray pitched very well against the Pirates earlier today. I saw the Mets just took a lead. Soto homered, so it's
finally.
So that's definitely nice for Mets fans. But they're up 1-0 in the sixth inning.
Let's go.
Nothing else really to add. The Guardians and Nationals series was actually pretty competitive, and it was 8-6 today in favor of Cleveland. And Seattle's down 5-1 in the fifth inning. Nothing else that was too, I'd say, surprising. Saw the Giants win 3-1 earlier today, and that was basically it. Robbie Ray was really good, and there you go. They won 3-1. So, anything else you want to talk about, or should we just move on into the games for Thursday?
Yeah, we could move on.
Okay, so before we get into any of the actual games for Thursday, a reminder that if you want to find all of the SGPN podcasts and picks in one easy location, check the SGPN app, free to download. So once you can download the SGPN app, which is free in the App Store today for all of the free picks and podcasts on the network. Moving on to the games here on Thursday. Starting off with the first game, you have the Orioles taking on the Twins. Now, for this matchup, you have Kramer against Ryan. Twins are about -160. Orioles are out in +135. And the over-under in this game is set at about 8 or 8.5. So to ask you for this game, because Ryan's been a lot better than Kramer, Baltimore's been terrible. They can't pitch. They're going to allegedly use Morton on Wednesday, so I don't know how much of the bullpen's going to be available for this game anyway. Minnesota's been quietly pretty good recently, so I'll go Twins -1.5 because Baltimore really, really stinks at baseball.
Yeah, you got to take the Twins here at home. The Orioles stink, and Dean Kramer's atrocious. I mean, on the road, he's terrible. And I got to give credit because I was about last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, I was bashing the Twins saying they're on my do not bet list, but they've been much better recently. They're good at home, and Joe Ryan has been really solid for the Twins at home this year. They're hitting 260 in Minnesota. They're averaging around 4.8 runs per game at home. And like you said, the Orioles, they just stink. Dean Kramer stinks. The bullpen stinks. They can't hit on the road. So at +130, I saw -1.5 at home. Yeah, I'll take the Twins run line.
Yeah, just looking to see if I can find a better price. I see +130 as the best number as well.
Yeah.
So go with that in this
Love
one.
that.
Moving on to the next game, you have the Rangers taking on the Red Sox. Now, the Rangers fired their hitting coach and immediately scored 6 runs. So maybe they were on to something. Jack Leiter, those pitching for the Rangers. The Red Sox are going to be using Bayo for this outing. For the actual money line, Boston's -135. You have the Rangers at +115. And for the over-under, I see 9.5. First glance, 9.5 feels pretty high with these pitchers. I know Leiter was off to a good start this season, was not good last outing. Bayo's been fine, though, 2-0, 2.55 ERA. Leiter was bad against the Marlins last start, but on the road this season, he's made 2 outings, 8 1/3 innings, pitched a 2.16 ERA. Total just feels too high to me at 9.5. You could argue the Red Sox should not be this big of a favorite. Maybe they should be closer to like -115 because it might be close than, I'd say closer than the odds makers suggest. But I think I like the under in this game. 9.5 just feels too high.
Yeah, both teams aren't really playing the best baseball, but Brian Bello has looked really good for the Sox this season. And with Jack Leiter, only 4 starts on the year for him. And to be honest, in my opinion, I think he's a little bit too up and down for my liking. He needs to be a little bit more consistent for me to back him. I know the Rangers offense looks like they got going after getting a new hitting coach, but I still trust the offense a little more for Boston at home. Rangers only averaging 3 runs per game on the road, so I think Bello could do a good job limiting the bats here. So I made the Red Sox a -140 favorite, so I'll take the Red Sox here on the at home.
Yeah, I think for the side, I don't really have much of an opinion, so I kind of just picked Texas because of potential value, but I prefer the total in this game personally. Moving on to the next game, you have the White Sox taking on the Royals. Now, for this game, you have a pitching matchup between Martin and Bubic. Bubic has an ERA below 2, a 1.98 ERA. Martin 1-3, 3.52 ERA. Kansas City has been rolling lately. Team could not hit for a while, then they were able to sweep the Rays, and it has been really just a runaway train at this point because they have won currently 7 of their last 8 games. They won the first 2 games against Chicago. Chicago scored 3 runs in the first 2 games combined against the team, but the Royals are laying 250, and the over-under in this game is set at 8. Now, for the run one, if you want to take it, you find Kansas City at -1.5 and -110. Martin, though, this season, I said before, has been fine. Bubic has been better. But we're looking at Martin, who gave up 3 runs and 8 hits against the Astros last time out. Before that, though, he had 2 straight starts of 0 earned runs. So first glance, I think I actually like the first 5 under in this game. Both offenses haven't been great. Kansas City has been winning the first 2 games of the series without really doing much offensively, and the White Sox can't really hit. Bubic, though, been great this season. Martin, I think, can go pretty well. The total in the full game, I said before, is about 8. So you probably can find a first 5 total of either a juiced 4.5 or a pretty decent value on 4. I see a low scoring start to this game, so I'll go with the under in the first 5.
Yeah, I'll go full game under. And I've been under on this series this whole series.
Never been in doubt for any of
Yeah,
these games.
both of these games have hit under. They've given us an 8.5. They've come down now on 8. My total came out to 7.8. Still like it. Like you mentioned, Chris Bubic, he's been great for the Royals, especially at home. Just 4 runs given up in 18 and 2/3 inning. 1.93 ERA at home. Batters only hitting a $1.91 off of him. And White Sox, they really don't hit well against lefties. Just 217 on the year. They struggle to score runs in general. They've only scored 3 runs in this whole series. They're averaging just around 3.11 runs per game on the road. And to be honest, Davis Martin has been pretty good considering the team he's on. I think he's probably been one of their best pitchers. He hasn't given up a run on the road in his last 2 starts. I think he's been the best pitcher, like I said, for the club. And unders have just been a cash cow for the Royals team. And on top of that, we will have winds around 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing in tomorrow from center field. So, I must keep taking unders here with the Royals.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Don't fix it isn't broken is kind of my philosophy
Yeah.
with this team. Moving on to a double header. We're going to break down both games, and then we're going to end up getting into a bit of a break here. But for game 1 between the Tigers and the Rockies, right now you have Mize against Freeland listed. I see the Tigers at -180. I see the Rockies at +150. And for the over-under in this game, I see the line being set at about 9.5 or 10. A reminder, it's in course, which is why the total is so high. For the run line, you have the Tigers at -120 on the run line, and you have the Rockies +1.5 at even money. But I do want to ask you for this matchup. Actually, no, sorry. I see the Tigers at -115. Rockies are around -104, give or take, for the first game of the doubleheader. Total, though, is also between 10 and 9.5. So Job this season is going to be probably pitching the second game, but keep an eye out for it, though. There is a chance they might flip. You never know the order of the starters here. So Mize right now is listed for game 1. Could be Job. For the Rockies, I see Dollinger and I see Freeland. But right now, Freeland is listed for the first game. So keep that in mind. You might get a pitching change there, but either way. For this matchup, assuming that it is Mize against Freeland, what do you like in this game? Because the Rockies, we know at home, can technically be dangerous. They've not done so this season, and they've been really bad. So I like Detroit, but I feel like for most doubleheaders, you tend to expect the chop. Question is, which game would you pick the Rockies to actually win?
Yeah, we talked about this matchup yesterday before it got rained out on the pod. Boring play, but and I usually don't like to lay the juice on the run line, but I think that's the only way I would play this game in game 1. Tigers -1.5 at -108. I think we just got to keep fading the Rockies here. I know at times this season there will be opportunity to back them at Coors, but they've been bad at home too. 4-11 straight up. Tigers, they're playing really good baseball right now, 7-3 in their last 10, but Kyle Freeland's just been terrible. Over an 8 ERA at home this year. Rockies have lost 6 of his last 7 starts, 7 starts in general, and they've lost every home game he's made. 5+ runs given up in both starts as well. So I think the Tigers roll here, -1.5 in game 1. For game 2, Correct me if I'm wrong. I see what there's nothing. They're all both TBD, but I think it might be Cater Montero for the Tigers.
You could be right. I see one place that says Job, so I have no idea.
Yeah, and then I think Tanner Gordon for the Rockies, both minor league. But if that is the case with those two pitchers, I did make the Tigers a -180 favorite, -1.5. I need a -125 or better. Made the total at 11. But yeah, both minor league pitchers. And with being in elevation here, I think we're going to see a bunch of runs in the second game. So maybe I'd lay off a side in game 2 because there usually is a chop. So I probably would attack the total depending on what it opens up at. But Montero isn't good, and who knows how long Tanner Gordon is going to last against this Detroit offense. So depending on what the full game total is, maybe I would take the over, maybe just target the Tigers team total over. But yeah, that's how I'd play game 2.
I'm with you. It depends on who's pitching. I see Dollinger being listed for the Rockies, Job right now for Detroit, but you said you saw potentially Montero, maybe Gordon going for Colorado. Nobody knows. With a doubleheader, though, you do get a free call-up, so we'll see if both teams maybe bring up a de facto starter for this game. I like the over at 9.5. I think the total is going to be too low. I don't know who's going to be pitching. Job's also very young, assuming he does go for Detroit. Never pitched in Coors before. That can always be a pretty interesting experience for new pitchers, not in a good way. So I'll go with the over in this one, picking one of these teams to kind of break through, and we'll go from there. Before we get into the other games on the card, we're going to look at, once again, our sponsor, Circa Ultimate Fantasy Football Giveaway, because Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for their stay. 2-night stay at Circa Resort and Casino for all of the 12 people in the league. Hold your draft at the Cabana at Stadium Swim with a $5,000 food and beverage credit. Limit transportation to and from the airport. Welcome party at Legacy Club for the league. Reservation at the world's largest sportsbook with a $500 beverage credit in the for the league. And a reminder that the contest duration is from May 5th to June 30th. How to enter? Go to sportsgamepodcast.com/circa, sportsgamepodcast.com/CIRCA. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost, the first ever bank account bill for bettors, ensuring that all gambling transactions are approved. They have no usage fees, non balance. You can also cash rewards, 100% approval for opening deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet. Promo code SGPN. And a reminder, you can also deposit $25 in EdgeBoost Match Deposit. Edgeboost.bet. Promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Nordic Fantasy. They just launched their new game mode, Ladders. Win up to 500 times your money by watching your favorite players climb the ladder. Sign up with the promo code MLB SGPN. Going to special pick and a first-time deposit offer up to 1K in bonus cash and fantasy promo code MLB SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through the first couple games on the Thursday card. Time to keep it rolling. Just finished with the doubleheader between the Tigers and the Rockies. Moving on to the Phillies taking on the Rays. For this game, you will Luzardo against Pepiot. For this one, Phillies are -130. Rays are +110. For the over-under in this game, I see 8.5. Now, Luzardo this season has been really good. A 3-0, 1.94 ERA. 1.59 ERA on the road, so has actually been better on the road slightly compared to his home numbers. Pepiot, though, has had a pretty interesting season. Bad at home, a 4.82 ERA. Been pretty good, though, his last two outings. Not the best against the Yankees based on distance, but his last two starts, 10 and a third, 3 earned runs. But for the most part, tends to give up a couple of runs per start. Nothing that's, I'd say shameful, but still not exactly throwing zeros left and right. I think Luzardo's better than Pepiot, and even the Phillies are playing better baseball right now. Tampa's still not a great offense, and the overall pitching staff we know year in, year out is fine, but I think that Philly's a better team. I actually don't mind getting greedy here. I'll go with Philly -1.5.
Yeah, I'm just going to take Philly straight up here, -130. My numbers made him a -135 favorite. Like you mentioned it, Jesus Luzardo has been good for the Phillies this year. He's only given up 2 or more runs one time this year, and that start actually came at home against the Giants. He's actually been better on the road. Only 1 home run given up in 41 innings. I mean, he just doesn't give up the long ball, which is very good to see, especially in a ballpark with a lot of wins at Steinbrenner Field. So I just think this is a bad spot for the Rays. They don't hit lefties well at all. 189 against left-handed pitchers they're hitting this year. And I don't trust Pepiot. You mentioned it at home. He just gives up a lot of hard contact. The long ball is an issue for him. So I think this is a good spot for the Phillies and Luzardo. I think they could win by multiple runs. So depending on the number you get on -1.5, I like that. But I just play it safe. I'll take them straight up -130.
Yeah, so for the numbers I see right now for the run line, I see Philly at plus 130 on the run line,
Oh yeah,
which I think
that's
is
a good
just a very
number.
good price. So I'll
Yeah,
take that for this one.
yeah,
Moving on to the next game, you have the Reds taking on the Braves. Now, for this game, you have Lodolo against Schwellenbach. For this one, Lodolo is a dog, pretty decently sized dog, actually. Braves, after their really bad start, only one under. They've come all the way back. They're going to try to get to 500 on Wednesday, then trying to get over 500 on Thursday. Schwellenbach, though, 1-3, 3.92 ERA. Lodolo, 3.27 ERA. For the over-under in this game, I see the line being set at about, I see about 7.5 or 8. Now, I know the Braves have been good lately. I know that Sale pitched well for once, thank God, last start. For Schwellenbach, though, he's been fine. I mean, 1-3, 3.92 ERA. Better at home. Not good last time out, though. The Dodgers roughed him up, but again, that is the Dodgers. Last couple of starts, though, he has given up at least 3 earned in 3 of his last 4, so not exactly pitching that well right now. Lodolo, though, I like. I think Lodolo's solid. I know his record this season's fine. ERA on the road, though, 1.07 in 25 and a third innings pitched. So he's been a monster on the road. Was not good last start against the Nationals, though. Got shelled, gave up 7 runs, 6 earned. But that was at home. Start before that was in Coors, pitched 7 scoreless innings. Good road pitcher, and I think the value is definitely there. I don't mind Reds' first 5, potentially. If you want to go for the full game, I can understand that. Reds' bullpen, though, I think can be very shaky. Not that Atlanta's bullpen's great either, but I think the price is too big in favor of Atlanta. I'll back Lodolo here. I'll go with the
yeah.
Reds' first 5.
Yeah, I like the Reds full game money line. I see plus 143, plus 140. I only made the Braves a minus 145 favorite. So I think maybe by game time, maybe more money will come in on the Braves than being the home team. So maybe it's a wait and see, and we'll get a better price with the Reds. As for the total, 7.5, I think that's a little too low as well. My total came out to 8.4. I think Nick Lodolo has been the much better pitcher here in this matchup. 107 ERA on the road. You mentioned it earlier. Just 3 runs given up in 25 innings. Batters only hitting 176 off of him. Meanwhile, Schwellenbach, I don't think he's looked good in his recent form. He's given up 2+ runs in 4 straight games, and Braves are 1-3 straight up in those 4 games. So they don't hit lefties all that well. Just 205 on the year. I think this is a good spot just based on pure value. I know they're not playing really well right now. They've lost 4 in a row, but I think the value is with the Reds. So I agree. It's a wait and see for me, but anything plus 145 or better, I'm going to be on the Reds here.
Yeah, just trying to find the best number right now for Cincinnati. I see 144. So,
Okay, maybe I'll lay the penny extra. It doesn't matter.
okay, just saying there is a penny
Yeah,
difference between what you
yeah, I
wanted.
know.
There you
I
go.
know. It's not too big.
Yep, either way. Moving on to the next game, you have the Blue Jays against the Angels. Now, for this one, you have a pitching matchup, which is kind of interesting between Bassett and Soriano. Blue Jays, though, minus 125, Angels plus 105, and the over-under in this game is set at 8.5. Bassett this season has been pretty solid, 2-2, 2.95 ERA. Not been good lately, though. He has allowed at least 3 earned runs in 3 straight starts. As for Soriano, he was really bad for a recent stretch there. But as a whole, his numbers are okay. 3.83 ERA. Really bad at home, though. A 6.14 ERA at home. Was very good last start, though, against the Tigers. Gave up no runs in 6 innings at home. So Soriano had given up 3+ in 3 straight, then had a gem against the Tigers. But main problem with the Angels, this team stinks. They can't hit. They've been really bad. They have actually lost 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They lost 8 of their last 10. Did score 8 runs, though, against the Blue Jays in the series opener. So maybe they can find something here. I think if I was going to go for anything, it might actually be maybe an Angels bet against Bassett because Bassett hasn't pitched that well, but that involves back in the Angels, which can be very annoying. Yeah. So I'm kind of stuck here. I don't see much value in anything, to be honest with you. But I do think Toronto's better than the Angels.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of it's tricky, though, because Bassett's not been great. So I'm not going to bet this game. But I guess I'll go with the over, but I don't feel good about it.
Yeah, this is not really a game I'm running to the window to bet, but I guess I would take the Blue Jays here straight up. If I had to bet this game, I probably won't, but my numbers did make them a minus 130 favorite. Total seems spot on. You see 8.5s, correct?
Yes. I don't see any 8s, but I see 8.5.
Slightly into the over. My total came out to 8.6. So I don't know. Neither team is playing really consistent baseball. I guess this would be a more of a fade on Jose Serrano, who
He was good last start, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, but he's been awful at home for the Angels. 6.14 ERA, 10 runs in 14 innings. Batters hitting 322 off of him. Now, obviously, the Blue Jays don't have the best bats, but Angels have lost all 3 starts at home, he's mentioned. And not to mention, the Angels have the second worst bullpen in regards to ERA in the league. So I don't know. I like your over. I kind of would like that as opposed to betting a side, but I don't know. Minus 120, I think that's a fair price for the Blue Jays. I'm not a big fan of Chris Bassett either, though.
Yeah, once again, Soriano, I actually don't know if I said this before, but I faded him last start. I had Skubal first 5 minus half a run. Skubal gave up a solo home run. And that was the only run scored in these first 5 innings. And then the Tigers scored 8 runs in the 9th inning because Jansen fell apart. Wow. And you ended up seeing, who was it? Who was the guy that had 2 home runs in the same inning? I'm drawing a blank on who that was for Detroit. The main it was Riley Green, I think.
Riley Green, okay.
I think Riley Green in that game became the first player ever to hit 2 home runs in the 9th inning.
Wow.
But the point is, I had the first 5, and Soriano, who was terrible at home, was phenomenal, and then the Angels' bullpen fell apart anyway. So that was my last moment there with Soriano. But as you said before, he's been bad at home for the most part. So that's kind of why I guess I'm going with Toronto in the over, but I'm not going to bet this game at all. I have better games to bet on, to be honest. Moving on, though, to the last game. We are going to talk about making great time on this show. Dodgers against the Diamondbacks. For this one, Dodgers, we know, have been playing good baseball lately. They're currently tied 0-0 in the 3rd inning against Miami. Arizona, though, is down 2-0 to the Mets right now in, I think it was the 7th. Dodgers, though, minus 165. The Diamondbacks are plus 140. Yamamoto's pitching against Fod. Yamamoto's stats are just hilarious. 4-2, 0.9 ERA, and Fod's 5-2 with a 3.79 ERA. The over-under in this game is set at 8.5. Now, Fod has been actually one of the better pitchers on Arizona this season. Yeah. However, he was not good last start as the Phillies killed him. 4 2/3, 7 runs, 6 earned. We know Yamamoto is good for basically allowing 1 run tops in almost every outing he's in. The last start, 6 innings, 1 hit, no runs against the Braves. He's in fact given up a grand total of 1 earned run in his last 5 starts combined. So there you go. For this one, though, I understand the Dodgers being favorites. I can't argue it. Guy's a monster. Fod got shelled the last start. I think that he's fine. He's better this season than I thought he'd be. But maybe Dodgers first 5 minus half a run. If you want to go for the under, though, I don't mind that either. I like 8.5 or so. The total feels pretty high for Yamamoto. I'll go under, but I think Dodgers first 5 has to be in consideration. Do want to point out, though, Teoscar is out indefinitely. So they will be a bit shorthanded in the lineup, but they should still have enough to get the job done against Arizona. I think I have to go with the Dodgers first 5, though, with Yamamoto pitching, but I don't mind the under 8.5.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm going. Dodgers first 5 minus a half or full game. I don't mind full game run line at plus 114. I know they don't get the last at bat at being the away team, but correct me if I'm wrong. Yamamoto's the best pitcher in the league, right?
Yeah. His ERA is 0.9.
Yeah, and I don't think it's close, if I'm being honest.
To be fair, Senga does have a 1.16 ERA.
But his command has been awful.
He's walked 5 guys today.
Oh, my God, it's been terrible. I don't know if you've watched the game, but it's terrible. And that's multiple games now. But, yeah, I don't think it's close. I think he's been the best pitcher in the league. He's only given up 1 run on the road. No home runs given up. Batters only hitting $148 off of him. I think he's going to dominate the Snakes. They've laid a goose egg so far here against the Mets in this final game today. And I agree. I think as good as Brendan Pfaadt has been this year, I feel like he's yet to face an offense like the Dodgers. And you mentioned it. He got shelled in his last start versus the Phillies. So I don't know. Back-to-back tough spots against 2 really good offenses. I just don't think this is a good spot for him. So give me the Dodgers. Plus 114 on the run line that's juicy. I like that. You really don't get that for the Dodgers anymore. So I like that, or first 5 minus a half. I like that too.
Yeah, I do kind of want to see how this Dodgers offense, yes, I know they still have a lot of talent, but Teoscar was kind of a big piece in the middle of that lineup. I do want to see how they adjust to life without him, but I think they'll be fine in this game. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for all the games on the card for the Thursday slate. Before we get into the actual lock and dog plays, we're going to remind everybody that we are brought to you by our sponsor, Rhythm. Because if you want to try out AI-backed picks and props, Rhythm's the place for you because they have the NBA playoffs. They can help you dominate. They have the MLB prop market. Build your own model, very simple and easy to do. They also have a 7-day free trial if you want to try it out for free. And a reminder that they have some amazing deals. They have the monthly deal and the annual deal. For the monthly deal, 25% off the monthly subscription with promo code SGPN25, 50% off the annual deal with promo code SGPN50. That's Rhythm, promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50. A reminder, you can also try it out for free for a week by using the link, sportsgamepodcast.com/RATHMM. We're also brought to you by MyBookie. Because MyBookie.ag is the place in every sport. They have the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs. They have the MLB card, the UFC cards, you name it. They also have props in every game. You can also use it from a ton of locations. Also use crypto for deposits on your fast payouts. And a reminder that you do sign up for your new account, use the promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to 1K. Terms and conditions apply. MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through all the games on the Thursday card. Now it's time for the lock and dog plays. Dylan, I'll let you go first. What's going to be your lock and dog for the show?
Yeah, for my lock, I am going to go. I really wanted to take the under, but yeah, I'll take the under. What, like you said, what's not broke, don't fit. What's
like
the saying?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I like how you just negotiated with yourself in real time.
Right? It was quick. It was quick.
Really was. Like, do I want it? Yeah, I'll do it. Like,
yeah, I'll do it.
Sold. All right. Don't mind me. I'm just here as a third party. Don't mind me.
Yeah, I'll take the under. Like I said, I think Davis Martin's actually been good. We know how good Chris Bubich has been for the Royals at home. And even though Royals are the better team, they don't score a bunch of runs either. So I think we'll see another low-scoring game between two bad offenses. So under 8 for my lock. As my dog, I actually did give out a bunch of plus money. Do I want to take the Reds? Here I am negotiating with myself. Actually, I'll go with the Twins here. Oh, I can't believe I'm picking the Twins. Twins minus 1.5 at plus 130. The Orioles stink. That's going to be the handicap. Dean Kramer's terrible, and yeah, they're terrible. So minus 1.5 is at plus 130. That's my dog.
Yeah. So for my lock, I think I am actually going to go with the Dodgers and Diamondbacks under in this game at 8.5. It's minus 110. I like it. Dodgers so far without Teoscar have not really looked that great offensively. They'll figure it out at some point, but I do think that Yamamoto should pitch well. Diamondbacks in the middle of a nice 0 in the 8th inning right now, so they really are in the bottom of the 7th. So they've had a hard time scoring. Dodgers, though, right now is 0 runs too, so I think both pitchers should go fine. Fodd's been better than I thought this season, and you're looking at Yamamoto being the best pitcher in the league up to this point. I think 8.5 is definitely a good price for me. Give me the under at minus 110 as my lock. For my dog, I think I am going to go with the Phillies minus 1.5. I do think that it's a good price on Luzardo at plus 130. Pepe tends to give up 2 or 3. Luzardo's been pitching well, but the main issue for me is the Rays can't hit. Phillies, though, quietly been putting together some wins recently, and I do think the Phillies' offense is significantly better than Tampa's. We've seen a lot of high-scoring games in Tampa, mainly because of the opposing offenses. But the Phillies, if you look at the actual numbers, have won 7 of their last 9, been performing well recently. They've scored 7+ runs in 3 straight. I like the spot here for the Phillies. Give me the Phillies minus 1.5 at around plus 130 as my dog for the show. Anyway, that is going to wrap up the episode. I know it's a short episode, one of the shorter ones we're going to have. We're at around the 30-minute mark. Dylan, anything else you want to add before we end the show?
No, enjoy the games. Good luck on all your bets. And Scott, we got a huge game tonight. We gotta be locked in. So gotta get some food and yeah, funny joke. Yeah, big game too at TD.
Big game too. Yes, unfortunately, every game in the series is at the Garden because there's 2 different gardens, and it does bother me. So
we're the real Garden.
Yeah, the OG. Unlike the Boston Garden, this one's a square. So something to keep in mind for MSG. Anyway, point is, until next time, looking at quickly who's going to be doing the show tomorrow for this podcast. Quickly pulling it up. For the show on Thursday afternoon, we do have myself with Lonte. So we're going to be doing the games for Friday. Till next time, good luck to all of you and all of your bets. Bye, everyone.